Okay, this is a video on how to change brake pads on a Kia Ceed. It's a 2017 plate English car. It wasn't as straightforward as I thought. I got the pads from Euro Car Parts, but I also nipped into GSF Car Parts just to double check what was happening, because these are from the other side, but can you see that bit there? It's a slight angle off, and every single one I sent to open the box, and they're all almost 90-degree corners, and I just couldn't get them on. But each brand seemed to be like that, and from the other videos I've seen, people have been sanding them down, or talk about sanding them down, which is what I did on the other side, so I just thought I'd show it. Yeah, you see that? These are the Ojura brake pads, but is it Ika in the red box? They were exactly the same, so there's no point. Got this, so I got the other side on, and this is what you need. A socket set, you need a 14mm one for, there you go, that fits on there, and you need I think it was 17 for if you want to take the actual this off. If you want to take that off, make it easier, or if you want to clean anything down, it's a 17. And let's see how we get on. The nuts are on pretty tight here, so I'm going to have to hold this side with some pliers and try and turn this side at the same time. This one's moving a bit more easily, but I had you can get just a random bit of metal off, a tube off eBay or something, and you just slide it down to get more power on it. And that's loosening off. The other one, the whole thing's twisting. So we've got some narrow-nosed locking pliers, or mole grips, vice grips, and they just did those because they nicely fit round the other side of the bolt. In the past I've done it where the end's been too wide, and it kind of ended up on the rubber boot. If you hold the grips steady whilst turning this, then you'll be fine. That's this top one out. Doesn't look like there's any lubrication on that whatsoever. That's why it was so tough. But yeah, it just came out of there. This is me doing the other one. That's turning as well. As you can see, the whole thing's turning. Oh well, to get the grips out. So they're both off, and all you have to do is lift this off here, just pull it off. This stays on if you want. I'm going to take that bit off now. Just make sure, probably going to balance it around here, but really you could get a bit of bungee cord or get a bit of wire and create a little hook, and you can dangle it from here, because you don't want to pull the hydraulic hose. So you can see it's off now. Hung it up there. Not ideal. Best securing it more than that. And I think it helps as well if you're doing it with the wheel pointing out, because then when you're trying to get around the back to the other pad, you can get to it more easily. just get a screwdriver, give them a little poke out. There you go, out it comes. That's one out. And take note as well which side. This is the, I think it's called a squealer plate, this bit of metal. You see it overlaps the metal here onto where the pad is, so when the pad runs down to that few millimetres of overhang, this touches the brake rotor and it makes a racket, so you know that the inside one's worn. This is for the inside, because you can check the outside one just by looking. You can see how much pad's left, but you can't see when the wheel's on this side. And it was just whether or not this goes at the top or the bottom. I think because they come in a set of 4, did these, so depending, I think which side you put it on, you might end up with that bit of metal at the top or the bottom. I think I can just about see it. I think it's at the top on this one. It's the first time I've changed the pads on this car, so I'm assuming the last person probably took it to a garage. I'm sure they're professionals. Yeah, there you go. There it is. So it was at the top. Make sure you check these move freely. I think ideally you're supposed to clean them up. I did this on my last car and they just pull out. They just pull out and you fill them with silicone grease. But they can seize up if you're not careful, and then your brake will jam. So just I think that's called a rubber boot. The whole thing just pulls out, but I can't be bothered doing it on this one. Looks fine. And then, like I say, if you want to take the rest of it off, just get your 17mm, stick it on the back, and then this just drops off, and then you can clean it up more easily. But all I'm going to do now is get my file. I'm going to file a corner off these and maybe take a bit off the edges, because when they fit in, which I think I haven't really made sure of in the past, you need to make sure that the pad glides in and out, free movement. I think this squealer, I think it's called a squealer plate, could do with a bit of a clean up as well. The build up of grime will stop it from moving. So this is the brake pad and the vise. You just need anything to hold it flat with. Also make sure you don't get any grease on the other side of it, because you won't be able to, it won't grip the brake rotor as easily and stop your car, so make sure you're handling it by the edges. And there's the other comparison, so you can see it's in the right orientation. There's a metal nippet. So I'm going to take this corner off here, and the same below. So I don't know if you can see now, I've taken the corner off the top here. See the other side. And I've also filed a little bit off this edge and the top edge as well, because it was a real struggle to get it in. But I'd do it with a hand file rather than a grinder, because it's too easy to take too much off if you use an angle grinder. So just keep testing it, do a little, try again, file a little bit more, try again until it's spot on, because if you take too much off, it'll rattle around. So I think I'm going to take this plate off actually. It's going to come off. Yeah, you can see it wiggling. You can buy new ones of these and just give it a clean up, get some where's it gone? I think you can use use that to clean my bike chain, seems to do well, but degreaser, and then use a bit of sandpaper as well on this, some really fine grit sandpaper to get any tough residue off. Put it back on. So there it is, off. You clean that up as well, get a bit of sandpaper on it. So that made little to no difference with the spray. Probably need a bit of sandpaper or some new ones if you wanted to swap them, but I don't think you really need to. I'm going to put some of this stuff on, going to dab a bit on just in the base and smear a bit up the sides, and that's what will help the brake pads glide, just in that bit. Don't get any on the rotor or the surface of the pad. So I took this off in the end. It's a pain in the arse trying to get the bent, kind of fiddle around the back of the rotor. So see the lube in there. So I also filed a bit off this surface here. So that's the new one in, and it should, I don't know if I can show you, should have some movement in it. See, I'm wiggling it back and forth, so it should move reasonably easily. If it doesn't, just give it another couple of scrapes with the file, and just slot the other one in. And then you can see it just goes back on like that. You can get the other one in at the same time. Make sure there is kind of make sure there's enough gap for the rotor, and it just slides on. And you just put the bolts back through. It's just less fiddly than trying to do it with this on. That's it. So the pads are back on. And you can see they move really easily now. Look at that. They fit like a glove. So if they're not moving like that, you need to file a bit off. But I forgot to mention in the other video, the hydraulic fluid pushes this out and it stays in pretty much the same position, so it's too far out now. It needs pushing back in. So there's various different versions of these. I've got two. One didn't seem to fit one of my cars, so I bought another one. But anyway, this one seems to work, and something I picked up from another video. I guess, well, this slots in there like that, but you can see this is got nothing to push against because the head's too small, so you just keep an old bit of keep the old brake pad, put that across, and then when you wind the handle, pushes the head. So you wind the handle, pushes that head into this plate that pushes the piston back in. I've just spotted just dawned on me, I've not put the cover back on this thing yet, so I put the cover back on that. there it is, the cover. So well, I'm just going to clip it back onto, going to clip that goldy metal cover here, cover that, stick it back on here. But yeah, that's all there is to it. Wind it all the way back, it'll probably go, this edge here will probably be almost level with that. And I don't think you need to worry about the hydraulic fluid. It just pushes all back into what I've heard called the master cylinder. I know on other videos I think they open the bleed valve, but that just seems to be opening up another can of worms. I don't know how to put hydraulic fluid back in. I'm sure if you're letting it out you've got to top it up, so I'm not bothering with that, and it's never caused me any problems in the past.